got a special episode of mine covering the women's cricket of UAE. I'm with the captain of the UAE team, current cricket team, and also the manager of the UAE team, Chaitrali. Let's meet them. Chaitrali. Hi Chaitrali. Hi Chaya. Chaya, your name is Chaya Mughal, right?
That's
So you belong to which part of India?
basically, I came from the northern part, which is Jammu and Kashmir.
Oh, you're from Kashmir.
Yes.
Okay.
Beautiful place.
Yeah. I've been to Kashmir. And Chaitrali, you're from?
I'm from Bombay.
Bombay.
Most metropolitan, cosmopolitan city.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the most busiest city in India.
Yeah. I know that. And your base is from Goa, from Karwar, Karnataka.
Yes, from
Your surname, Chaitrali?
Kalgutkar.
Kalgutkar. And yours is Mughal. So you are coming from North India, you are coming from the Western India. So you guys are doing a good duo for UAE and doing UAE proud. I've seen most of the time you all are together, where we have always done a combination. I think there's something in the think tank of always working together. You working as a captain has done really good for UAE. A lot of they have been struggling for UAE cricket team, for the girls team, women's team, which has been happening for the last 8 or 6 years. It's a great hard work. Chaitrali has been involved. Chaya has been there. You were the part of the first UAE team. Were you the part of?
No, actually, the inception of UAE Women's cricket team started 2007. Well, I landed in Dubai in 2010.
Okay.
Yes. So I wasn't aware that UAE has a team called Women's
Cricket.
Yeah. I've been playing in India.
Okay,
Also
what
part
you
of
play?
My national team.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I played senior nationals from Jammu and Kashmir
Okay.
State.
Okay.
So then I was really looking forward to play cricket because there was a break in between. Because as soon as I traveled from India to Dubai, there was no cricket happening. So I really wanted to play. And then a friend of mine told me about this. And then it took 5 years to come.
Great.
Yes, because there was nothing, no news about cricket happening. And then one fine day, I got to meet the then coach. His name was Mr. Hyder. Yes. So
He was my teammate for the herring.
Yes, I miss him a lot because he was the first person who introduced me to UAE Women's cricket.
Very nice of you to remember him.
Yes.
Hyderabad.
So it was the year 2015. I came to the UAE Women's cricket. And that's how the journey started.
That's nice to hear. And okay, when you were in India, you played. Did you get into the zonal side? How was the Kashmir side? Was good? Was it good enough at that time? Because women in Kashmir playing cricket also is an amazing thing.
Yes, it was. I can't say it was an incredible team. Was always ready, but then it was quite competition. We had.
Did you ever get to play against Selection and I?
No, at that time, my captain was Parwatkar.
Okay.
She's now the mentor for women's team, which is happening in Jammu and Kashmir.
Okay, great.
She's now doing exceptionally great work there. She's introduced a lot of different things for the women's cricket. She's doing a lot of tournaments also. So at that time, we used to play against the teams like the strongest at that time was Punjab.
Railways also. I'm talking of Selection. She was leading the railway side.
Yeah.
She's my cousin sister, long distance sister.
Okay.
And she has played for India. She's a wicketkeeper for India.
Okay. So
I'll cut you there, Chaya. Chaitrali is silent and let's take something from Chaitrali. Chaitrali, you have also played cricket in India.
Yes, I used to play for Maharashtra.
Okay.
I played the nationals.
And you played for UAE as well when you came. I remember initial couple of the launches. Yeah?
Yes, initially, as you might know, there was to even make a team of 11, we had to struggle.
Yes.
And when I saw cricket was happening in the UAE, I was really curious and excited because something that I have been waiting for long. There was a short break for me, and then joining cricket and playing cricket was something that I always looked for. And when I knew it's happening here, I just joined, and that time we barely had any tournaments because women was just at the peak, it was just
The initial
growing.
days of UAE cricket for women.
So we did not have those kind of platforms that we get now. I mean, these guys are really lucky because they've got so many different formats to play and at so many different levels. Playing with the boys, playing with the women's, playing at different leagues. So obviously it has expanded. I joined in 2009, and that's a long.
So you were the
journey.
part of the first crop of UAE cricket.
You can so
The lady
say so.
cricket.
Actually, it started in 2007 at Chaya
Who was your first captain for UAE?
My first captain was Chaitrali Pandey.
The ex-India player. She was leading the UAE side, right?
Yeah, she used to play for Delhi before, and she got a very good experience and cricket in India is very different compared to what we play.
UAE still to play India, right?
Oh yes, of course. I think now we will be playing the Asia Cup, having like
So which is the test selection you have played so far? You all haven't got an experience to play.
We played with the associates.
Associates. So this will be the first time you are qualified for the main Asia Cup, and you are yet to qualify for the World Cup because there you have to go to the global.
That's right.
Okay, Chaya, what you would be like? What do you do normally, like other than cricket? What is your profession?
Well, I'm a teacher by profession.
Okay.
So I teach the primary
Which school
group.
you teach in Dubai?
I used to teach in Ambassador School, which is in Manpur. But recently I've shifted. I've relocated to another setup,
Great.
which is the GEMS.
And Chaitrali, what do you do?
I'm working with Emirates Airlines Group.
Okay.
It's almost 15 years now.
So you are well, they support you for the cricket, like the cause of cricket. Of course, it's a tough thing. No professional in UAE. We have gone through those patches. We know, but still you get a little bit of support if the managers are right, the principals are right.
Exactly. And you need these kind of support because without their support, you won't be able to give your.
When you're playing for national team, you don't get that. This is what is in UAE. It's happening everywhere now because nobody is concerned about what you're doing. What you're earning is more important.
Yeah, absolutely. But as you said, some companies do consider like Emirates, they are already in cricket, so
They've been for a long time.
Yeah, so they know something at the international level is of a high value. So there's been a lot of support, for so many years, and I'm really glad to be with them.
Great. The journey of UAE cricket has been, I have been part of it. Chaitrali has been part of it. Chaya has been a little bit. I think we had a game where you have been my captain and she has also played. We have been together in some local leagues.
Yes, that's right.
What do you understand the standard of UAE cricket? Where I'll ask this for both of you. I'll have to give your concept of being as captain of UAE team. There's a lot of foundations for the future team as a manager. Also, you'll build up a vision of UAE. What do you think about the UAE cricket? Where it's going as of now?
Well, if you ask me, the day when I started playing the cricket and the day how my team is now, there's a huge difference. It has not only improved horizontally, but I can say that there is a vertical escalation as well. The level of cricket that we are playing now, we can compete with any West nation also. We are so confident.
No fear concept has come.
Exactly. I mean, the girls are out of their fear now. They are ready to face the challenges, be whatever it's coming on their way. And besides, having a mixed blend of the seniors as well as youngsters, especially the under 19, our major team, it comprises of the under 19.
I guess the born UAE concept is helped more because there's no some cricketer who has played for India leading the side and there is somebody. It's total UAE unit. Guys are united. You all play at the school level. You all play gel together. You all move around together. It must have. Chaitrali, what is your view?
See, absolutely.
You should be having something special to come on.
Yeah. Look, as I always mention, it's important that work all throughout so many years because till you don't reach a level, you would really not know what journey it was. And honestly speaking, what UAE was 10 years and what it is now, it's north and south. Having youngsters at this level is something very, very unique because to grow as a unit, to grow as a team, to play at an international level in the likes of India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, obviously you have to have a different game approach, a different mindset altogether.
Some grit required.
Yeah, absolutely. And more than that, the way as an individual you focus on your game matters a lot. And nowadays what we do is we play a lot of matches, as you know, we play with your teams as well. And playing with the boys, playing against each other, playing with some good players across the globe has really helped the players to understand their standard and the way they need to execute their game. So overall, it's a very good journey for UAE, I will say, because this is the second time that UAE will play the global qualifiers and again playing the Asia Cup. So it's an achievement. If you ask me, it's a great achievement. And Emirates Cricket Board has really helped us, given us the opportunity to utilize the platforms that are always available, and more importantly, they had faith in players, in coaching staff, in support staff. So it's a complete team again.
To cut you there, during this course of this journey, you did lose some good players who have been prepared, who have really been nurtured and expected, but they, due to their studies, they're going outground. You did lose some couple of players, like I said, Natasha. You didn't think she was doing, but I didn't see could have done much more than sort of continued and with the cricket. I guess correct. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. See, this country of expatriates. So obviously, when experienced players come here, their priorities work. And if their priorities work, so obviously they're not going to be able to spend time for cricket, although they want to still.
That is a very important point. With all that, also UAE is still qualifying for all the things.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm coming to that point, and it's not easy to balance both. Same like working ladies now that we have in the team. They work, they play. So basically, they work from morning to afternoon. Say 4 or 5, and 6 o'clock they have to hit the ground. A lot of girls, who are study full time. So after their universities or schools, they have to come and practice. And moreover, a lot of sacrifice has been done by a lot of players. When they go on tours, they have to sacrifice their jobs, they have to sacrifice on their exams. So all in all, there's a huge dedication and hard work that the players have put in over the past 2 to 3 years, I'll say. And it was never too easy, in fact. Even during COVID, the girls always wanted to do some or the other activity online, or to stay focused, to stay in the game. So if you ask me honestly, the girls are very excited to play a lot of future tournaments, and they're going to be really huge, big elite tournaments.
What I feel, Chaitrali, is the concept of this junior cricket for the girls was started a little bit earlier. It will still be better. We have been good. This many of you people came together and started working on under 19s, under 14s. That's the reason you get a good crop of girls. By the time they're nurtured and you get them by 19 or 18, you have the team ready. Because most of your stars are the girls who have come up. There is this Oja, there is other Sri Lankan girl, Kavisha, she's doing that good. You of course lost Siddhi also, she was there, but she's not there. There are many more. There's one fast bowler who's on the track who's been doing well. Samaira is there. So all these have come from under 12, which has been little late to start because you're dependent. I know the history for the UAE and you must be also part of that. But you are dependent only on the crop of girls. Of course, it was very difficult to get the kids at that time.
Yeah.
Only when the success follows the roots to come up. So it has happened and that's happening now. So what is your preparation for the World Cup? I should come from the manager first, for the qualifiers global, because the second time you're experienced, you're part of the team also last time.
Of course. I mean, look, it's going to be a very big event because we're going to play a little high level of cricket and a lot of expectations from every player, obviously, because these opportunities don't come that often, and this is a big milestone once we qualify and play the World Cup because it will
whom you target as your major rivals?
We have Thailand and Bangladesh who will be the most competitive in this tournament, and
Bangladesh also has to qualify.
Absolutely, yes. So so these are the two teams who have been doing exceptionally well in the past.
Bangladesh has just come from the World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely, and so has Thailand. So definitely their intent will be totally different, and our preparation has to be more intense compared to what other teams will do. And we need to improvise more on our strengths and play good cricket. So it's going to be a fantastic opportunity. I think a lot of players will get good exposure playing at that level at an ICC tournament, and it's just one step away from getting into the World Cup to meet big, huge teams and playing there. So, I got goosebumps.
You already have the no fear concept in your
Absolutely.
in your team.
Yeah.
So, what is your role actually? Manager means what you have to do?
I basically manage the entire
coach
team.
and the team in between.
Yes, absolutely.
Everywhere you have to manage.
And it's fun, I tell you, because I've done a lot of I've done a lot of coaching as well, and so as a player, if you are playing different roles, so it helps in the overall development of cricket as well.
I have noticed in most of the associations, most of the teams, what happens is the coaches change, the players change, but the managers don't change.
Absolutely.
It's like I've seen many presidents changing, but never the secretary of the association changing. Looking up to the team, like you now, her role of manager, and you as a captain, you must be like a role model to many of the girls who are there. You are leading the side. There's a lot of pressure on you. You are there everywhere. Chaya, Chaya, Chaya. Everything is happening. So how you take it up?
See, when you are holding a responsible position, it comes with a lot of, you can't say pressure, but then you have to prove yourself. You know, it's not always on the field, but then off the field also you have to take care of your team. You have to always be with them. You know, sometimes they're feeling low and you have to just push them up. You always have to get them on their back. You know, somebody has to be always constantly pushing them forward. I think that's the main role of a captain.
You have to carry yourself on and off the ground, not added responsibility. You cannot say there's no responsibility. You cannot be doing things what you were doing before. Now as a captain, you cannot do that.
There are added responsibilities, but then you know it pushes you to do something that you're not always doing it. You know, it brings you out of your comfort zone. It tells you to do something out of the stretch that you have always been doing it, and then you have to try something different. You know. So I'm enjoying this responsibility because it brings the best out of me. You know, I like to work under pressure. When there are pressure situations, I think I can perform better. You know, that's something I like about myself. And apart from that, you know, since coming these bigger events, you know, we have to really absorb it and then absorb it in such a way that we have to really prepare for it. Not
when you're going for this World Cup, you're going to experience the field or you're going to beat India?
See, we have nothing to lose here. Like, we are going with underdog situation. Like, we are nowhere in those high-ranked teams.
But the mindset you put in the goal, of course, it's your think tank. I'm not going to go much detail, but what are you going at? Just to feel the World Cup or you want to do something?
No, it's not just feeling the World Cup. Now it's because we are in the habit of winning the matches now. And once that habit is built, you know, there is a hunger of winning all the time. All the girls, you know, it's UAE is holding a record actually.
Yeah, no losing streak. Yeah, you guys are 22 games.
Exactly, 20 games in a row.
Yeah.
And then we are next to Australia. You know, when you're in that kind of a zone, you know, you're meant
you don't see the opponents.
You don't see the opponents.
Oh,
we just
that's nice.
Play each ball and we are playing to our strengths. You know, and that's something I really like about this team because we have an amazing blend of seniors with the youngsters. You know, so seniors are having a lot of experience. When it comes to the pressure situation, they are the one who will be coming on the front seats. But
your youngsters are also taking a good load of it.
They are having that, you know, like warm blood kind of a thing, who are always ready for the high action thing. And then we are there to support.
You are an all-rounder. You do bat and you bowl, you open with the bat and you open with the bowler. So sometimes, I don't know, it's as per your thing.
That's right.
What you consider yourself basically? 50-50, 60-40, 30-70?
I don't know. I love my batting.
You cannot say 50-50. There's nobody 50.
No, there's no 50-50. But then I've always started, I don't know, for me the love of cricket begin with batting.
Okay.
So it's my bat that talks more.
Okay.
But then I love to work with the ball as well.
Yeah, but you do good with the ball. I've seen you. If I count you as I'll say you're a bowling all-rounder, but you're a batting all-rounder. So
yeah, batting is my first love.
Okay.
You can say that.
Chaitrali, coming back to you as a World Cup preparations, you must be also putting your inputs to the coaches, to admins, a lot of role to come. It's not on the field that happens. It's a lot of things which you will play a role. And of course, the development of UAE cricket, there has been zones where you really work. I've seen you working on it, and it's not like I'm taking a chat, I'm doing this chat. I've sensed it many times that your commitment off the track, because everybody likes to play and get into limelight. But then you're outside the box and you're always struggling to get your team do well. Your commitment, overcommitment, extra commitment. How is it happening? What are you preparing for this World Cup zone? Global thing I'm not talking, I'm taking the global aside. I'm thinking already for the World Cup. What are you planning for yourself?
Yeah, of course, look, you know, as I said, we've got a fantastic blend of youngsters and seniors and
how are the coaches looking up to it?
The coaches believe in the player, they trust them. Working on individuals.
You have Robin now. Robin also gets involved most of the time.
Yeah, of course. He's a man of vision, and you know, for him, it's all about winning. And he comes from a very different background, as you all know. You know,
do you know his birthplace, by the way?
Yeah, it's Trinidad.
Oh wow, very good. Okay.
So yes, lots of cricket. You know, he has a lot of cricket in himself, and he wants to deliver lots to wherever he goes. This is what we witnessed in IPL, we witnessed in UAE. So yes, of course. And but the journey doesn't end here, honestly speaking, because World Cup is our dream, and you know there is nothing. I mean, I don't find any reason that we should not qualify. If we play in the right game, I think it's going to be an easy pathway for us.
This team of UAE is not looking back just for experience sake, and they are looking for some glory or be the brave girls to come out victorious with the win or whatever it costs. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, because I've seen, many players, they do not have any fear factor, especially the young girls at the age of 12 and 13, they just want to swing the bat, and that's something, it's so great, that they've lost that fear factor, and that is good for the team, because we know they can, even if they get out, it's fine, because they are still in the learning stage. But the fact that they really want to show their skills and hit the ball hard is something that every cricketer would want to do. And more than that, it's all about, as you said, preparation wise. Our preparations are going to be very different compared to what we have been preparing earlier. She knows it, because which players need to be utilized when, and what exact work needs to be done with the individual. So a lot of programs are going to be falling in place, and the preparations are going to be very different. And I would like to specify one more thing. I would like to thank parents also, because it's never easy for a player to just walk on the field, especially the younger generation. And without parent support, I think it would not have been possible. So parents have also played a very vital role in getting the children to the ground, helping them to play the sport, waiting there for 3 hours till they finish. So I would say all in all, it's a great commitment
of course,
for everyone.
I think so. In the ladies cricket, basically your parents, your partners, your husbands, they do play big roles.
Yes.
Because letting the women go off, letting the girls go off. Okay, it's very good in UAE, but many other countries it could be more difficult. But it's easier in one kind of a way. But it could be difficult because of we have the transport, the people, the communication.
That's right.
Everything is difficult, and the parents are more involved. And that looks good at times. At times it looks good, but at times it's difficult also. As you said, well mentioned of that. I was trying to cover it in my later questions, but you have done it well. IPL kind of thing that has happened recently. Actually, I wanted to catch up with Kappa. Is one of my favorite cricketers in the ladies, and I reached your hotel, so remember Chaitrali if I could meet up with her. What was this event like? How it has helped you all? You must have met with so many international cricketers, played with them. It certainly helped you when you played in the World Cup, but what was the experience like?
Yeah, well, that's called as a FairBreak invitation, that was.
Okay.
And I'm fortunate enough, because of Emirates Cricket Board, they gave me the opportunity to play and participate with the elite group of players, like as you said, Marizan Cap. She's one of my favorite all-rounder, because she's not just a
spiritual
batsman,
kind
but
of
then,
character.
you can say that also, but then, the team actually relies on her, and she delivers it always. Being a consistent player is something that I'm really looking forward all the time, because you perform in one match and then you don't perform in other, it doesn't make a sense, right? But if you're constantly performing when the team actually needs you, it's called a great player. So yes, FairBreak invitation was a great, a learning phase for me. I've learned working with elite players, and then, sharing the same dressing room with them. It gives me an immense confidence, and it has taught me, a lot of things that I can come and inculcate in
But
my team.
ECB players, many of them. How many were there part of the squad? About 5 of them? 5 to 6?
We
Four
were
of them.
4 of us who were playing in the teams, and besides we've got
Couple of them were in standby.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, they were in standby.
Must
But
have been
then
an amazing experience.
it was amazing.
You all want it more to happen, right? More like
we
this.
really
More like
wanted
these things.
More happen like this, and then get enough opportunities, so that we can learn and then bring it back and then share it with our team.
In a week, how many days you want to play matches? 5 days? 7 days? 4 days?
See, if I talk about, again, I would like to say a huge thanks to our board, who is really supporting us, Emirates Cricket, because I was just calculating the number of matches that we have played, and in a year I counted almost 70 to 80 matches that we have played.
That means you're playing good cricket.
I'm talking about the domestic cricket that we are playing in preparation, during the preparation time. And it's because of these matches, the kind of experience that we are getting, it's really helping us. Because in the nets and in our sessions that we are learning, you need a place to, just implement those things. And matches are the real scenario.
I remember Chaitrali asking me every time there was a little bit of, you have a match, your academy can play a match,
Exactly, this week-
and they lost 3 times, and the 4th time they hammered us.
So it's like 3 or 4 days in a week we practice, and then the last weekend, in the weekends we normally play matches with the boys.
Chaitrali, what are your views about this FairBreak? You are the manager of a team also.
Yeah, I was manager of the winning champion team
Oh.
from Meadows, and
You have the West Indian girl, who's
Stephanie Taylor.
Stephanie Taylor.
And Sophie Divine,
Yeah.
the legends of the cricket. So it was great to interact with them, be a part of that.
Any
team.
Indian player, they were not allowed. I guess.
No, unfortunately, they were not a
Yeah.
part of the FairBreak this year. You actually get to meet these players, understand their routine, how they take the game forward, how they apply themselves, and it's a huge, experience I can say, which I can get back to UAE and help the players develop that as well. As she mentioned, we had 4 players, so all four of them are a part of UAE setup and have been doing exceptionally well. So it gives, indirectly a confidence to other players as well, to come up to that mark. And obviously, ECB has been playing a vital role because the FairBreak was hosted in the UAE with ECB. So it is a great boost, and I think these kind of tournaments would help us identify the key players, give them a platform where they can execute and improvise their game overall. So again, I would like to thank ECB and FairBreak as well for providing such a great platform for players, especially the associate.
ECB is doing wonders now.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially the associate countries. So it's great, and we would want to see UAE getting the ODI status soon.
It's a normal way, when the board does for you, you want to do back for the board. It's not only the financial point of view, it's also the commitment, how much effort they are putting in. If the board is not doing for you, then you don't want to do, you also know, it's like with having a good teacher, even the worst pupils end up becoming a good people. You're a teacher. Teacher or a cricketer, what do you want? What do you choose?
Both have a passion.
Both have a passion.
Yeah, because I think the ECB has now started recognizing the players and appreciating their efforts. So obviously that gives you more confidence and motivation towards playing better cricket.
Who has been your role model, Chaya?
Well, I remember, fielding was something that has always appealed to me. So I remember watching the matches on television set, and my favorite was Jonty Rhodes all the time. The flying catches
You met
that
Jonty
he's
Rhodes?
taking. No, I've never, but in future I'm definitely going to see him. So he was one of my favorite because you can do wonders with batting, you can do wonders with bowling,
Wow.
but in fielding, I have barely seen any person who can win the match.
Very nice
And then
person.
he's
Very down to earth.
player of the match because of the brilliant catches that he's taken. So I'm really, really impressed.
5 catches in the World Cup and then 1 run out. So I think it's a mama.
Yeah, and he was the turning point in the game.
Good. Who has been your role model, Chaitrali?
As a child, I was always fascinated with Sachin Tendulkar, and that's how watching him play. My cousin used to play, and that's how we play in the.
You have a cricketing family, cricketer in the family.
Yeah, one of my cousins used to play for his state, and I had a couple of cousins playing in Bombay as well. So we were a big joint family much earlier, and then we used to all play in the corridors of the house or the backyard and stuff. So that's how the interest for the game grew in me as well. And so
Sachin Tendulkar, Jonty Rhodes.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your advice to the youngsters, the future cricketers of UAE, women cricketers? What do you want to say? Give me a short advice of 1 sentence.
I mean, if you love to play cricket, just play, enjoy the game, and be happy.
Be happy, enjoy and be happy. Enjoy playing cricket and be happy if you want to do it. Do it. What about you, Chaya?
For me, I can just say that persistence is the key to success. If you don't find any results coming on your way now, just keep doing it. One day you'll certainly get the reward, and the day is not far.
You have been persistent. I've seen you struggle, bowl, missing your swing bowling, missing and Chaitrali from outside. Whichever team, maybe the opponent, you are my captain and Chaitrali was helping you out.
That's right.
I still remember it.
Yes.
Very good time with you girls. And ladies, all the best for your whatever achievements you want to go further down. Take UAE high, take India high. Thank you very much.
Thank you.